Hello friends, welcome to Crypto Bulls Club. My name is Soham. Every day on this channel, I show you how you can make money in crypto. So guys, welcome back once again to our daily live session. And as the family voted, we are coming live at 9 p.m. India time. So let's see how many people have we got. Just a couple of them, guys. So welcome Avengers. Welcome. You're the first one today. Welcome to the stream. So, guys, today's agenda is gonna be around finding the bottom for Bitcoin. Now, neither me nor can anyone can tell you the exact bottom, right? That is absolutely certain. But what we can try to understand is try and match patterns that we have seen across markets, across time zones. Okay, so that is the agenda for today. We are gonna also take a look at the Elliott wave theory. Okay, so that is something that is going to be helpful for us going into the future and predicting the future, if I may call it that way. Right. So, very quickly, if I have to talk about the total market cap is coming in at about $1.6 trillion, down about 6.5% in the last 24 hours. The complete world, the global markets are seeing a sell off, guys. Okay. This is not something very limited to crypto. This is happening across global markets. This is happening for all other markets, including the Indian stock market and the NASDAQ and the few others as well. Okay, if I talk about Bitcoin, Bitcoin is down about 4.8% in the last 24 hours. It's currently trading at $33,700. Ethereum is down close to 10%. It's down about it's down to about $2,200. BNB is down about 8%, down to below $350. If you are to talk about the top gainers, then again, SafeMoon, I don't know what exactly it's doing, but it's up 200% in the last 24 hours. There's not much anything on the green side apart from that in the top 100. If I will talk about the top losers here, Celsius Network has lost about 18.5%, followed by Curved Out Token, which has lost about 17%. Thor Chain has lost about 16%. Quant has lost about 15%. Convex Finance has lost about 15%. Harmony has lost 15%. Airwave has lost 15%, and so on. Okay, guys, so that is something that we wanted to, just give you a recap of the day, how the day has been for all of us. Now, let's try to understand and jump into the technical details of the chart. Today, we are going to understand about the Bitcoin chart. So, as basically, I have shown you the multiple Fibonacci levels as well. Just for a quick recap, we are below the important Fibonacci levels right here. Okay, this was a 61.8. This was important, but if I draw this till here, right, if I draw it till here, guys, okay, this is actually giving us the Fibonacci at about 20,000. I know the sixth golden pocket is coming in at about the $20,000, but it depends, truly it depends on what exactly are we looking into. Okay, if I just pull it into auto mode, then also you'll be able to see it the same way as well, right, guys? You can see it on the auto mode. The 61.8 is coming in at about 47th, or we are well below it. But yes, this is important again, right? This is important as 38.2 is coming in at about $32,000, right, guys? So that is about that. But today we are going to cover about the Elliott wave theory. Now, on our channel, we haven't covered too much of the Elliott wave theory in the past, right? So today we are going to focus on one part of it, the correction part, right? It's called the flat corrections. So if we just quickly go to this image right here, this is the flat patterns that we are able to see right here on the charts. There are basically three types of flat patterns that we could understand. First of all is the regular flat. What is the regular flat is telling us is basically, you know point A and point C. First of all, let's understand point A is here, the first correction that we had. So, and point B. So, these are two equal tops that we have made right here. And then point C comes down to point A right here. Okay, as you can understand, if you can see this clearly, this is where we have, come down. If we come down to these levels, then this regular flat pattern holds true. Again, if it's a bull market, then it will pump to the upside, make new all-time highs. If it's a bear market, then of course we'll come down, will go up again, and then comes the bear part of it as well, right? So let's take a quick look if this pattern is matching with the Bitcoin chart right now. Okay, let me get this. Okay, so at this point, if you can see this clearly, right? So what we had done is we had, we got this high at about $65,000. If you remember, back in April, $65,000 was our top. Then we made another higher high actually this time, and this was around the $69,000 mark. Okay, $69,000 mark, and currently we are coming to the downside. So what does this indicate? This indicates that this theory is out of picture. Why is this out of picture again? This theory is out of picture simply because we have made a higher high. However, in a regular flat trajectory, in a regular flat pattern, this would have held true, right? This would have held true because we would have made a similar kind of a top right here, but we made a higher high. So this regular flat pattern is out of the picture. Now comes the second one, which is the expanded flat pattern, right? What is the expanded flat pattern? The expanded flat pattern actually tells us that basically we have a down slope right here, then we move up, then this low is actually lower than the earlier low, and the high is also higher than the previous high. Okay, did we get this? First criteria is, did we get a higher high? If we can see right here, we did get a higher high, right? We did get a higher high right here. If you can see this clearly, we did get a higher high, and basically this means that okay, one part of it is actually satisfying this, the expanded flat theory part. What is that? That is simply because is the fact that we have got a higher high, this point C. So here we have got a higher high. Now in order to this theory, the expanded flat theory to hold true, right? In order for this expanded flat theory to hold true, we need a low lower than the previous one. That means what was the low here? The lowest point for here was approximately about $28,750. Okay, 28,750 was the low, and if this pattern needs to hold true, then we need to have a low which would be lower than this, guys. Okay, this is absolutely possible, right? This is very much possible, and we can expect that kind of a low here as well. But we are still on our path. We haven't found the low yet. Okay, now next is the running flat token. What is the running flat token that we have? The running flat token actually tells us that basically this high, the second high, would be higher than the previous high. Okay, we already have that, and the low would actually be also higher than the previous low. Now this is interesting because we haven't yet reached the $28,750 mark that we reached back on the 21st of June 2021, right? We are still above it, and if this is the bottom, guys, okay, if this is the bottom, then running flat pattern will hold true. Okay, this running flat pattern will hold true as well, right? But still now what we can understand from these patterns is that basically the expanded flat pattern and the running flat pattern are still into the picture. However, the regular flat pattern is out of the picture simply because we have made a higher high. On the regular flat, we are making a similar high to the previous one. So here we can see there are two options. Now what does history tells us? We are going to analyze that for you as well. Now for that to happen, what we are going to do is we are going to jump to the SPX 500 chart. Okay, what has history told us in the past? Now in the past, what we can see right here, this is the monthly chart of the SPX. This is a much matured market, so therefore we are discussing about so this is something that we are pretty much this is the larger time frame and the larger market cap as well. That is why we have taken the monthly structure right here. What we can understand from this is what was the pattern that it played out here. So here you can see, right, this was the bottom, then this was the higher, this was the high, and this high was actually higher than the previous high that was made on in April of 2000. Okay, and this high was made in October of 2007. Of course, this is the larger market, that's why the time frame is much bigger as well. Now, if we come down here, what we are noticing right here is that we actually made a lower low, my friends. Lower low we made, and after making this lower low, we went on a multi-year bull market, which is continuing even now. Okay, which is continuing even now. If you can see this, it has risen parabolically, right? If we have to do a measurement of this thing, this is important as well. It has risen approximately by about, till date, it has risen by 615%. Of course, we had a little bit of pullbacks all along the way as well, right, guys? So this is something which is extremely crucial, right? And which pattern does this highlight? Which pattern is this highlighting? This pattern, the S&P 500 is actually replicating the expanded flat pattern, guys. Okay, the expanded flat pattern is getting reflected on the S&P 500 chart. Now, why are we just looking at the S&P 500? Why are we not looking at any other pattern or any other chart? You may have this question. The simple answer to this is the amazing similarity with the Bitcoin price so far with the S&P 500, right? We had a crazy rally all along the way. We got some certain kind of pullback. Of course, this is a much larger time frame because the market cap is very big, right, guys? The market cap is huge. I had covered this in one of our earlier videos as well, but I did not lay much emphasis to this. I did not explain you with this theory, the expanded flat theory, this, right, what we are discussing right here. But here we are, what we can see is expanded flat theory playing out, right? And it did play out on the SPX 500 chart. Now, what are we expecting from the Bitcoin price, and why is this pattern more likely to happen than this one? Okay, let's try and understand that, right? Now, the simple answer to this question is that basically all of us, experts, amateurs, new guys, whoever it is, like experienced traders, all of us are thinking that $30,000 is going to be the bottom of the market, right? And if you have been in crypto for about a year or a little bit more than that, you would definitely realize one thing, that the market never, behaves as we predict. It always catches us by a surprise. So what we are expecting right here is that it should be bottoming out around 30,000, 28,000, 27,000 dollars approximately. But what will happen mostly is people will enter at these levels, right? Probably at $30,000, $29,000, right? And what I presume the market might do is basically it might copy the move that we had back with the S&P 500. Okay, this pattern played out for like more than a decade, actually, right? It was actually more than a decade, from 2000 to 2013, as you can see right here, right? If I just get a date range right here, you can see right here we made the first stop in 2000, and we broke out of this after 4,600 days. So basically 2000 to 2013. But crypto is a much concise, basically crypto is a much concise market. It's the market cap is very small, and thus I believe that there could be a possibility that we may go down even to the lows of $25,000. Or my worst case scenario comes into the picture is the moving average of the 200 week. Okay, so this is something that we are expecting to happen. And if you just see this, that moving average, I strongly believe, if the and this is both technical as well as fundamental side of things, right? This is interesting because if the Fed decides to tamper or basically increase the interest rate, then inflation would take a hit, right? That is important to understand. And Bitcoin will struggle in that case. In that case, what we might expect to see somewhere during the first the first half of the second quarter, that is during April, or probably during April or early parts of May, we might come down and test the 200 week. Okay, what is the 200 week currently? The 200 week is at about $19,400. Okay, now going into, so this is a projection which we have right here for you. Now going into the future, what we can understand is this is going to increase simply because we are replacing, you need to understand how these moving averages work, right? We are replacing the 200, the candle that was there 200 weeks back, with the present candle, and thus this will keep on increasing. Absolutely, this is a projection, right? It may very well happen that I just made this video today, and next week or tomorrow Bitcoin just blasts past the previous all-time high. Can very well happen, but this is the most rational way of thinking about it. If that happens, all of us would be very happy, right? All of us would be very happy. All of us are holding Bitcoin, and if you're not holding Bitcoin, probably you should get one. I at and do your risk calculations before doing that. But this 200 week might actually be somewhere around 21, 22, or we might come down and not actually test or touch the 200 week, but we may come down to about $25,000 approximately, right? And that, according to me, my friends, this could very well be the picture going into the future, right? And according to me, what I strongly believe is that expanded flat pattern is going to be the way for the Bitcoin price. Okay, this is something that I am strongly believing in, right? And what is the base of my belief? I believe that most people are going to buy around $30,000, and what else is going to happen is, once Bitcoin breaks below these levels, right, breaks below 28, let's say 28,750, if it breaks below 28,750, if it breaks below these levels, then people are going to panic. The people and the weak hands who would have bought Bitcoin around uh, 30,000, 32,000, 35, even $50,000, what they're going to think is we are entering a long, cold bear market, right? And that is when they are going to sell off their Bitcoin, and the institutions will catch them with both the hands, right? The whole idea of this particular video is to guide you guys. We are a family. I wanted to share this particular pattern with you. The simple idea is that I am not selling my Bitcoin, guys. I am not selling my Bitcoins. I have converted most of my altcoins into BTC. I am not selling any portion of my Bitcoin here. What I'll be waiting for is February 28th, January 28th. The reason for that, it's a contract expiry. And I'll also keep you up to date about the other contract expiry dates that will be due. Okay. And on those dates, guys, on those particular dates, I am going to buy. Let's say I have $100, right? What I'm going to do is I'm going to buy, let's say I have a picture of the next 2 to 3 months, and I have $100 to invest, right? What I'm going to do is, on January 28th, I am going to spend around $20 or $15 to $20, right? When would be the next expiry, or when there could be an unexpected correction, I would buy in another probably $10 or $15, right? Like this, what I'm going to do is I am going to buy or exhaust about 45 to $50 or about $60 maximum, right, out of my $100 that I might have. And the remaining 50 or the remaining $40 that I will have, I will keep it. And probably if BTC goes to near the 200 week, I'm going to buy at those point of time, right? That is something that I am going to do, guys, right? So this is something that I wanted to share with you. This is something, the flat patterns which came to my notice. A big shout out to Ben Cohen. He actually made a full video covering the flat patterns. And also a big shout out to Nick from the Data Dash. Actually, I this video is inspired from his video as well. Thank you, Nick, for doing this as well. And I strongly believe that Bitcoin is not here, or basically Bitcoin is the market cycle is not yet over. Right. The simple reason is I believe this pattern is playing out, and also the the longest cycle theory, like, right, that is also playing out ever since March or April of 2021. We have been telling our family that you know elaborated or lengthening cycles are a fact, and it has been playing out for all the altcoins that I'm going to follow. Okay, so this is something that I wanted to share with you guys as well, right? Now, if I would talk about some of the key factors where or when I'm going to buy, again, I mentioned to you guys, let's take a quick look on some of the other expiries that are due. Okay, some of the other expiries that are due. So we'll open CoinGlass. CoinGlass.com is the place where we can come all the time and get these data. So a big shout out to them as well. A big thank you to them as well. Now, if I go to the open interest tab right here and I go to options here, I will get the data for what are the next expiry dates that are due. Okay. And here, what we can see right here is February or January 28th, pardon me, January 28th is a big day, right, guys? January 28th is a big day. And this could very well be our big red day, right? This is one day I'm particularly targeting to buy. Okay, some Bitcoin. Next to that, when will I target? I will target probably if the market is coming down. Now this is subject to the market coming down, right, guys? And uh, 4th of February is going to be another day when I'm going to look into buying some more. And 25th, of course, 11th is also, but 25th of February is also going to be a day when I'm going to buy. So and these are based on the, not only the options expiry that are due, but also based on the fact that, these are the last, how the market is actually performing, or how the sentiment in the market is as well. Okay, this is something that I wanted to share with you. If I will talk about the fear and greed index, now the fear and greed index currently it's at let us quickly take a look. It's at 13, guys. Okay, it's at 13, and we got a bounce from 10. The 10 level is a very critical level, guys. Okay, 10 is a very critical level, and if we just see to the left of the chart, which we always do, okay, you can see that this is each time it is here, it proves to be a great buying opportunity. Also, what I'd like to do is I'd like to open look into bitcoin.com. You guys can also find more interesting charts here into look into bitcoin.com as well. And they have actually color coded the fear and greed index with the the Bitcoin price, right? So this is important as well. So if you can see this right here, this is the fear and greed index, which is color coded. I have covered this earlier in my videos as well. And what I want to highlight here is let the chart get loaded. Okay, so here it is. It says the fear and greed index is 13. It's in extreme fear right now. But if you look at the color code right here and at the Bitcoin price, essentially, if you just look left on the chart, each time we have been in these kind of colors, in kind of red, it has proven to be a good buying decision. Okay, if you look here also, it was a good buying decision. Back at $41,000, it went to 69. uh, Prior to that, it was back in March of 2020 when the Bitcoin price was at less than $10,000. We all know we went to $65,000 after that. And also, what we understand from here is that even if it got to about $31,000 back in June, and the fear was very high, we again went to about $69,000. Actually, before that, we went to about $52,000 as well. So if the fear and greed index is any indication, guys, if the fear and greed index is any indication, I will strongly uh, believe that this is a great buying opportunity right now. None of this is financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Please do your research before investing. I just shared when I am going to buy, right? That is something that I'm going to do. Okay, let's take a couple of questions. So guys, make sure you share your questions with us as well. We do the live Q&A. If you want us to analyze any other chart patterns, anything that you would like us to cover, we're happy to do that. Let's take a couple of questions. Nirmal is asking about the DYX. Okay, the DYX, guys, for people who do not know, DYX is the uh, dollar index basically, and as we have seen in the past, the dollar index and the Bitcoin, they are inversely proportional. What I'll do right now is I'll actually copy the dollar pattern and I'll paste it over the Bitcoin, or let me just do it the other way around. Let me just copy uh, the basically the Bitcoin bar graphs, and let me paste it on the Bitcoin, on the basically your if I can, if I may copy them. First of all, that's important to note as well. If I'm able to copy them, I'll copy the chart patterns right from, for 2015 onwards. Okay, 2015 onwards, and let me copy the chart patterns from 2015 till date. Okay, this is a chart pattern I have done. If I'm able to cut this, and let us first get the DXY index. And while the DXY gets loaded, guys, the traditional markets have been also bleeding very hard. If you just take a quick look on the SPX or the S&P 500, they are also bleeding very, very hard, right? It's down about 2%, guys. It's down 2% in just today, right? And it's a very, very big deal, right? If one thing, please be assured that if the traditional markets keeps on bleeding, then of course, the crypto markets will bleed harder as well. Also, there is a Fed meeting, for the first Fed meeting of 2022. I think it's about a couple of days, or probably today. I'm not too sure. So yeah, that is also something that we would like to notice. Now let's do this thing. Let's delete these graphs. And what I'd like to do is I'll plot the weekly right here. Okay, the DXY from 2015. Okay, from 2015, I'll just paste it here, right, guys? This is important. Again, this is extremely, extremely important. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at this, how they are inversely proportional, right? How they are inversely proportional. The DXY and the Bitcoin price, right? The dollar index and the your Bitcoin price, right? So they are inversely. I have repeated this multiple number of times as well, that the bear market, sorry, the dollar, if they continue to print the dollar, if they continue to influx funds into the economy, then of course, you know Bitcoin and all other markets are going to flourish around. Okay, that is absolutely the fact. But if they cut out on that, how can they cut out on that? By increasing the interest rate, then we are going to struggle, right, guys? So this is the inverse proportional what I wanted to show you guys. And this is extremely, extremely important. As you can see, the dollar started coming down since here, and Bitcoin started rising here as well, right? So more and more as the day passes, it will be basically, the more and more time passes, it will be more and more similar as well. Okay, this is something that we wanted to highlight. And if I would talk about very quickly about this dollar index, the dollar index is rising for the past, it had a small correction, but it is rising for the past couple of weeks since 17th of January. We are on the weekly time frame, of course, and if we just get the moving averages right here on the weekly time frame, then we are well above all of them. Okay, and more importantly, what I can see here is we are actually about to get a golden cross on the dollar chart. Okay, if that happens, then this could be dangerous, right, for the Bitcoin price, right? As you can see, if you just get the projection, you can see this, that going into probably, yeah, mid of 2022, we might have a golden cross on the weekly time frame. That might be dangerous. That might be dangerous for the Bitcoin price. As of now, we are jumping off the 200-day, which is good. We need to, if dollar breaks below 200 week, then possibly we might get some support here, and that could be good for the Bitcoin price, right? If I have to talk about the key levels of support and resistances on the dollar index, then of course 95 is a good support. We went below it, but immediately we came above it. But of late, since May of 2021, dollar has been on a rise, right? And if I have to talk about Bitcoin, yes, we made a new all-time high right here. Yes, we made a new all-time high right here, but this was, if we take a look on the RSI, guys, if we take a look on the RSI, this there was okay. Let me get the RSI right here. It's asking me to upgrade. Hmm, okay. Let me get a few of them away. Right. Let me get a few of them away. Okay. And if I to talk about the RSI right here, if you can see this, the RSI is there was no strength whatsoever, right? So ever since, you can assume it, ever since this May of 2021, we have seen a pullback on the Bitcoin price, right? Yes, the price went higher, but there was absolutely no strength whatsoever, and possibly this was a clear manipulation, right, guys? This is something that I wanted to highlight here as well. Okay. Mayank, hi Mayank, welcome to the live session. Mayank wants us to do a quick analysis of the 2013 chart comparison. Again, 2013 chart, we can surely do that. We had done that in the past, but what I'd like to highlight here, Mayank, is basically, ever since November of 2021, we have not been following the 2013 market cycle pattern which we were following earlier, right? That is something that I want to highlight here and make it very, very clear here as well, because if we get the Bitcoin log growth curves, you will be able to see that every candle back here in 2013 was similar to, the monthly candles, the resistance levels that we had. For example, this resistance in April of 2013, we got here at the box, right at the top of, you know the the red zone right here, and the wood bot zone probably, and here as well in April we got rejected. Then there was 1 2 3 months of we came down here, we got support right on top of this green zone, and that was in July. As you can see, April, May, June, July, we came down right here and we got support right here as well. July onwards we started a move. July onwards here we started a move here as well, but in October we went above it. October, we went above and we went till the top of the yellow box. Then in November was the market cycle peak, right? Many of the guys were actually telling us that, this was going to happen, right? And we doubted it very, very much because it cannot happen, guys. It generally does not happen, right? And if you would say that, okay, you just compare the SPX 500, there are chances that that might not happen either. Yes, that might not happen, but my job here is to, give you the best analysis and the best picture that I have right now, and this is the best picture that I have, right? So my 2013 November we made the all-time high. 2021 November we actually got a pullback. So from here onwards we have seen this, this pullback, and this pullback is pretty big, right? Till there we were doing absolutely fine, but ever since November, the trend has broken and it is following a new trend, right? And that's the fact. Okay. All right, guys. So that is what I feel. The worst case scenario for me remains to be the 200 week. Okay. If we just plot this on the weekly, you will be able to see this. Uh, this is absolutely, important. Currently, if we just see We are getting a small kind of a, we haven't tested the 100 week yet. Okay, this is also important, guys. If we close a week, not only 1 week, like if we do right, like here, basically, like here, that we close the 50 week and the next week we went above. If we do that, then it's fine. I'm going to buy in at the 100 week. One more thing that I want to share with you is that if we get 2 consecutive weeks below the 100 week, then I strongly believe we are going to the 200 week, right? And in that case, I'm going to buy here as well, right, guys? So that is something that I strongly believe. Now, Om Prakash, welcome, Om Prakash. Really appreciate your question. So Om Prakash is asking, it was 69K the top for this market cycle? According to me, according to my analysis, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't the top. And the simple reason for this being, lengthening cycles and of course the structure of the market. These are, more rounded tops, as you can see right here. These are more rounded tops. Okay. And tops are not generally like these. If you just look left on the chart, you will try to understand that tops are generally like this. If you look at, you know, even if the S&P 500, this is how tops generally look like, right? Okay, one more thing that I want to just, give you an understanding is basically, uh, you know how much time did it take for the S&P 500 versus the BTC, right? How much time can we expect this kind of move to happen, right? And for this particular move, we are going to measure two moves: this move to the downside and this move to the upside. Okay, so when did we make our all-time high? Let's take a look here. So let's, I think at that point it was in March of 2000. So if we do a date range measurement from March of 2000 till the bottom, it was about 944 days, right? About 944, right? And that is where we found our bottom. And look at the similarity also, right? This is also very similar to this S&P 500. However, if you have to talk about Bitcoin, let me get rid of these drawings so that you guys can easily see them, right? How much time did it take us, for the Bitcoin price? How much time did it take, right? We came from 12th of April and we bottomed out about 70 days. It's pretty amazing. 944 days and 70 days, not even 10% of the time, right? Not even 10%. If you guys can just quickly calculate and let me know how much percentage less is this, it would be amazing. Anyone from the family, right? Om Prakash, anyone, Mayank, Nirmal, Avengers, any one of you guys. You guys, if you guys can tell me, that would be amazing. So this was 944 days. This was 70 days. Okay. Then how much time did it take to make the second top for from the bottom? We are gonna analyze that as well right here. Okay. We are gonna analyze the date range right from this particular bottom. How much time did it take us? It took us approximately about, yeah, 1826 days, right, guys? 1826 days. And how much time did it took us from this one right here? 140 days, not even 10% again, right? Not even 10% again. So if we do a quick calculation, and how much percentage less was this? Mm, let's first, it was 944 days, then it was just 70 days. So what percentage of, 944 is 70? So 944 is basically, yeah, about 7.5%. About 7.5% of the time it took us, right? Here, in the first instance, it took us about 7.5%. In the second instance, let's see how much it took us, right? In the second instance, uh, So guys, I just did a quick calculation. It was just 7.5%. This was 7.5% of the S&P 500 right here, and this right here it took 1826, and here it took about 140 days. So 1826, if we just multiply that, if 1826 into uh, yeah, about 7.5%, guys. That's absolutely perfect. It's matching amazingly. Okay, it's matching amazingly. Now what we can understand here is, can we do a rough calculation right here? How much time did it take from this particular top to this bottom? 545 days, right? 545 days, and we want to know the 7.5% of it, isn't it? So about uh, 40 days. I don't think so. I think we are well past 40 days now, so this trend is broken here. Probably let's assume if it takes around 9 or 10% also. uh, Actually it will take more than that, right? It has already passed 10% as well. So this trend is broken, guys. We cannot tell you the number of days it might take for the Bitcoin price to reach these levels, right? So that is also very, very significant. Okay. All right, guys. So if you have any questions, happy to take them, happy to answer your questions. Otherwise, we are good to go. Let's see if you have any questions coming in. Can we get the likes to 10 at least, guys? The likes to go up to 10 at least, and make some noise for the YouTube algorithm. About the bill, you mean the bill in India? I do not have any update as of now. I heard again rumors. I won't quote anyone, but there are rumors going around that there might be TDS and things like that. So no confirmation as of now. No confirmation as of now, right? And crypto is here to stay, guys. Crypto is here to stay. It's going absolutely nowhere. Even if, let's assume, even if the government bans it, then decentralized exchanges are always there. You have the use case of Nigeria, right? Where the government actually banned crypto for about, I don't know, about 3 months, and the volume was higher than ever, right, on the decentralized exchanges from Nigeria itself. So those are options that are available with us as well, right? All right, then I don't think so. We have any other questions coming in. So thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Stay blessed, stay happy. Please share our video with your family, your friends, and we are also live at the same time on Twitter as well. So go on to Twitter. CB Club Official is the name. CB Club Official is the name. You will find it in the descriptions below, and you will be able to basically just retweet it if possible. Okay, just retweet it with the hashtag BTC technical analysis if it possible. Please do that and share this video with your friends and family. Give them the opportunity to learn and earn from crypto. I thought this analysis would be good for you to know, and I just presented it as well, right? So thank you so much. Stay blessed, stay happy. Bye bye for now.